All right, welcome in everybody to another deep dive with us.
Yeah, excited for this one.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Today we're going to be diving into the work of Anna Doobie Eriksson,
Oh boy.
a Danish Faroese artist who's, she's been making some waves
Making way.
with pretty much everything she does.
I've heard the name. I don't know a whole lot about her though.
You know,
Yeah, fill me in.
what's interesting is that we've got this recent profile on her, which is great.
Okay.
But it's centered around an exhibition with a very weird title.
Oh.
It's called Mellem Brood August.
Mellem Brood August.
Yeah. And you know what that translates to?
No, lay on me.
Between bread and cheese.
What, like really?
Yeah.
An art exhibition about bread and cheese?
A whole art exhibition, yeah.
What's going on here?
That's what we're going to figure out.
All right, let's get into it.
But
Yeah.
one thing that stood out to me in
Yeah.
this profile was that they frame Anna as being this figure who's both imposing and magnetic at the same time.
Oh, interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they describe her as being 6.5 feet tall.
Wow, okay, she's going to command attention then, for sure.
But then paired with this, like, intense charisma, you know, it makes you wonder how this translates into her artwork.
Yeah, I mean, you don't often hear an artist described as imposing, right?
Yeah.
That physical presence. How does that play out in what she creates?
Well, and speaking of what she creates,
Yeah.
the profile starts off talking about her upbringing, which I think is really interesting.
Yeah.
She was raised in the Faroe Islands,
Oh, wow.
which is about as far as you can get from the, like, traditional, like, art world centers.
Right.
She was surrounded by fishermen and shepherds.
Yeah.
So I can't help but think that that must shape her perspective somehow.
I mean, absolutely, right?
Yeah.
You're talking about an environment that fosters a connection to nature, to
Yes.
the elements, this real sense of simplicity.
With the rawness of life.
Exactly, yeah. Something you might not get in a big city, right?
Totally.
And it makes me think about this whole Bol Medost thing.
Right.
I mean, focusing on a cheese roll.
Right. Like, it's so simple.
She's saying there's beauty in the everyday, even in a sandwich,
Okay, but I want to back up for a second.
Sure.
Because the profile mentions that as a child, Anna was obsessed with Sylvanian families.
Oh, the little animal figures.
Yes.
I love those.
And not just playing with them, like, she built this massive town
No way.
called Dalaran
Dalaran, okay.
with thousands of figures.
Oh my God.
Her own little world.
Wow. So is this like a clue to her artistic process?
I think so.
Like this early world building?
Yeah.
Creating narrative?
Yeah, and like I'm wondering if her exhibitions, like Mellem Brood August, are kind of like grown-up versions of Dalaran.
Oh, interesting. These immersive environments where she invites the viewer to explore her perspective.
Exactly. It's like she's creating worlds for us to step into.
That's a really cool connection.
Right.
Yeah.
And get this.
Right.
The profile really highlights how quickly she got into the art world.
Okay.
She attended the Gerrit Rietveld Academy in Amsterdam when she was only 12 years old.
12.
12 years old.
Wow.
And graduated at 16.
That's such a prestigious program.
I know.
Like, how do you even grasp art theory at that age?
Right.
We always talk about how artistic development takes life experience.
Right.
Did she get a head start?
Right.
Or did she miss out on crucial experiences by going in so young?
It's like a double-edged sword.
Totally, yeah.
And speaking of double-edged swords,
Oh.
her early exhibition, which was called I Do Amsterdam Kush, got some pretty harsh reviews.
Oh, no.
Like, they were calling it stoner cliché romanticism.
Ouch. Okay.
So I'm wondering, did that experience make her rethink her approach at all?
Well, it's interesting to think about how early criticism shapes an artist. Does it make you play it safe or does it make you double down?
Right.
It seems like with this new exhibition, she's not backing down from anything.
Okay, so let's get to the heart of this deep dive then.
Okay.
The Mellem Brood August exhibition
All right.
at the Copenhagen Museum.
Mellem Brood August.
Yeah, between bread and cheese.
At the Copenhagen Museum, okay?
This is the big one.
Right.
And what's really striking is that the interview for this profile actually takes place as a walking tour.
A walking tour. Yeah. Where are they walking?
From Copenhagen Central Station to the museum.
Okay.
And Anna brings a Bol Medost along for the journey.
She brings a what?
A Bol Medost, which is a cheese roll.
Oh, okay.
And it's funny because they abbreviate it as BMO throughout the interview.
Okay.
It's like this, important artifact.
The BMO.
Yeah, the BMO.
I like it.
It's pretty great.
So the central station, that's an interesting starting point.
Right.
Like, it's this hug of activity.
All walks of life.
Crossroads, yeah, and she starts there.
With a sandwich.
With a sandwich.
I mean, I love it.
It's like she's grounding this high-concept art exhibition in the everyday reality of the city.
Exactly. Okay, but then there's the BMO itself, which she calls a cultural institution on par with, get this, the welfare state.
Hold on.
Yeah, she even compares it to the compass and the protractor.
The compass.
It's a protractor, yeah.
What is she trying to say here?
I think she's taking this mundane object and elevating it to this, like, really grand level.
Right.
You know, it makes us question our own assumptions about what we think is important.
Is it grand institutions, or is it something as simple as a sandwich?
Right.
Okay, I'm starting to see where she's going with this.
It's making me rethink my lunch choices.
Not too.
So in the interview, she explains the title of the exhibition.
Okay.
You know, Mellem Brood ag Ost, which means between bread and cheese.
Right.
And she ties it back to the central station being a traffic artery, like this flow of energy and life.
And this is where we see the depth of her concept.
Yeah.
It's not just about a literal sandwich. It's what it represents.
Yeah.
It's about the space between the obvious and the hidden, the mundane and the profound.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
She's inviting us to look deeper,
Look deeper, yeah.
find meaning where we wouldn't expect it.
Exactly.
I like it.
It's pretty cool.
All right, so where do we go from here with this sandwich?
Well, hold on to your BMOs because this is just the beginning.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
All right, let's take a quick break and then we'll come back and really dive into the details of the exhibition itself.
Sounds good. I'm ready. Okay, so back to this Beyond.
Yeah, the BMO.
So she throws in these big names, like Ersipstead, Bohr,
Einstein.
Einstein.
Galileo.
Yeah, like giants of science and thought.
Is she trying to say that there's like a connection between art and science?
I think so, right?
Yeah.
I mean, she's drawing this parallel
Okay.
between how scientists try to understand the universe and how she's using the BMO to explore human experience. They both involve observation,
Right.
experimentation,
Testing things out.
looking beyond the surface.
I see, yeah.
So she's kind of like a scientist of the everyday.
Yeah, the BMO is her laboratory.
Exactly. And it's interesting how she traces the BMO's journey
Oh, yeah.
from like peasant culture,
The culture.
yeah, to where it is today.
Right.
There's a sense of social commentary there too.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it makes you think about class.
Consumerism.
The evolution of food. It's kind of amazing how she ties all this together.
It's like she's weaving this tapestry
Yeah.
of science, philosophy, history.
With a BMO at the center of it all.
It's pretty wild.
And the exhibition itself sounds incredible.
Okay, tell me more.
So it's described as this multi-sensory experience
Okay.
with like 45 different works.
45.
45.
Wow.
Videos, paintings, photographs,
Okay.
even what the interviewer calls dictions,
Dictions.
which I'm assuming are like spoken word pieces.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And then there's maps and testimonial.
It sounds really diverse.
Very diverse.
So it's like she's building a whole world around this BMO.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Each piece is like a different perspective,
A different angle.
contributing to the larger conversation.
Right.
It reminds me of installation art, you know,
Mm-hmm.
where the space itself becomes part of the art.
Right. It's an experience.
And then there's this really cool part.
Okay, what's that?
At the end,
Mm-hmm.
visitors get to deconstruct a BO.
Wait, what?
They take apart a sandwich.
They take apart a sandwich?
I know, it's brilliant.
What's the point of that?
So by deconstructing the BO,
Okay.
she's asking us to deconstruct our own assumptions.
Oh, I see.
It's like an act of analysis,
Yeah.
breaking something down to understand it.
Okay.
And, she actually compares it to overhauling an engine.
Really?
Yeah, she learned about it from a mechanical engineering student.
That's a great analogy.
Right. Like taking something apart to see how it works.
But also the idea of rebuilding.
Yeah, renewal.
It's like she's saying we need to take apart our ideas to rebuild them better.
Exactly. And it's not just about passive viewing.
Right.
It's about participation.
Like you're part of the art.
Exactly.
By taking apart the sandwich, you understand the concept better.
Yeah, and there's meaning in the process.
Of a process, yeah.
It's not just about the finished product.
I like that a lot.
So towards the end of the interview,
Mm-hmm.
she hints at future projects.
Okay.
And she says, I'm not finished with Dalaran.
Oh, wow. Dalaran.
Yeah, the Sylvanian family's town.
What could that mean?
It's intriguing, right? Like, maybe she's going to revisit that world,
Okay.
but in a more mature way,
Okay.
exploring themes of childhood and imagination.
Maybe like a giant Dalaran installation?
No, that would be something.
And get this, Mellum Brewdog Ghost is going international.